It is Monday, February 27th, 176.4. I wish I was 174. This morning, unexpected low. So we're hitting some pop chips with some cottage cheese. This is my favorite snack as a kid. Would be like sour cream and onion chips with like 2% cottage cheese. That was delicious. So this is as close as I can get to it without blowing my macros. Homeless mode engaged. Let's go do some cardio. Alright guys, there it is. Boom. Turn her off. So before I was super OCD and I would just try to do like by calories and minutes and track everything. But then as of recent I just went like, screw it, just go. Who cares? Do more, always. But don't burn yourself out. So I stopped trying to be incredibly scientific and incredibly accurate and track everything. I'm just going. I'm just losing weight. I'm just dieting. It's not that crazy, not that complicated. You know, you can make it complicated like I was, and it worked. And it still works. I'm still very calculated with my macronutrients and my refeed days and everything like that. But cardio and exercise, man, I just go. So keeping it simple. Meal 2 we got here. I'm gonna make a little sandwich. Lettuce, tomato, some toast, and then we got 220 grams of egg substitute with some fat-free mozzarella cheese. Gonna be incredible. So that's what we're looking like. Pretty awesome. Gonna be delicious. A little bit of Matt Porter going on, his recomp series, episode 1B. Cool dude. Just got done making my food for tomorrow. Sweet potatoes, beef, chicken, big salad. I got my sauces that I'm organizing. And then also my fridge that I'm organizing because I'm OCD. Nothing crazy today. Very busy, but yeah, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today. It is February 28th, Tuesday, and I am here prepping my intra workout stack for later today. So, let me show you what I got. Got our little funnel right here. Take the funnel, take our intra workout carb. This is something I've been really into lately. When you're this deep into prep, it's really important that you prioritize your workouts. So having an intra workout carb, it sucks because you get less carbs throughout the day, but your workout is awesome. And honestly, I'm playing around with it a little bit, but I think you're able to eat more food because you're able to burn more calories during the workout. I'm still playing around with that. It's really touchy, really sensitive because you don't want to mess anything up this close to the show. But yeah, so you potentially able to eat more food because you're burning more calories during the session because you feel better. And you're getting the fuel from the carbohydrates, so you're sparing muscle tissue at the same time. So it's almost like a win-win. Win-win-win. So we got this. This is 25 grams of carbs intra. And then I just got some creatine monohydrate right here. So we just go like this. Put this bad boy in my little funnel. Like that. And that's just 5 grams. And then in this guy we've got, this is a True Nutrition aminos, the fermented ones, and then I have glutamine, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio in here. So this is going to be 5 grams of aminos and 5 grams of glutamine, and we throw that bad boy in there. And that's the intra workout stack that I'm currently using right now. I wouldn't really recommend, I mean, in your off season you have much more calories obviously than I do right now, so you probably don't need aminos during your workout, but I still think they're beneficial. Carbs, I still think they're beneficial during your workout if you're even if you're off season. If you can afford it, do it. I think intra workout, pre, during, and post, very important. So yeah, there's my stack, guys. Got my hair all did up pretty and normal and nice, and like I look like a decent human being, I guess, except it's a little bit weird. There we go. Okay, just packing up my food. Just got done doing a bunch of goodies, some editing, some eating, stuff like that. So we got boom boom. This is God. So what we're gonna be eating today, we got some chicken, some sweet potatoes, a little flatbread thing, and some sugar-free barbecue sauce. I've also got in there some red onions that I grill and make little burgers out of with that flatbread. And I'm also going to grab some lettuce and some tomato, and we're gonna make a real good little burger. Ooh, and I almost forgot ketchup. Good thing I said the word burger like 10 times, or else I would have forgot it. Starting off this workout, we've got some YTWs, and these are just for overall general shoulder health. So with these are the W's, and you want to retract your scapula only, and then you go into rotation with the shoulder, just like that, just like you see a lot of people do. You don't need heavy weight on these whatsoever. You're just stimulating the muscles, making yourself aware of them, because that's one of the biggest issues with postural imbalances, or poor posture I should say, is not that necessarily the muscles are too weak, but you're just not aware of them, and you're just not able to activate them. Because think about it, when you're really trying to just bring your shoulder blades back, how much strength does that actually take? Not too much, right? Or when you're really trying to flex your glutes and pull your pelvis out of the Donald Duck position, how much strength does that really take? Not too much, right? So it's just more about being aware of them, I guess, and also alleviating muscles that are too tight and pulling things out of whack. But yes, I do believe that strengthening and activating the muscles that you want to be aware of does play a huge role in improving your posture. So for me, I have a left shoulder blade issue because I broke my collarbone in high school. Well, I should say someone else broke my collarbone in high school playing football. But with the Y's, T's, and W's, you want to stick to high reps. And because of that broken collarbone for me, my left shoulder blade, like I said, is a little bit wonky and it wants to rotate up off the rib cage. So I need to pull it back onto the rib cage and strengthen the lower traps. So right here, this is the best one. This is the Y. Previously you saw the T's, but the Y right here really smashes those lower traps, which don't get that much work, and they're pretty neglected. And they're one of the main muscles that hold that scapula down, as well as the serratus. Very good here. Y's, T's, W's, anywhere from 15 to 20 reps, sometimes even more. You can also do these with band. There's a lot of variations to these. This is just how I choose to do them. Moving on, we go into some pull-ups. Pull-ups are awesome staple movement, essential for back development in my opinion. Before I started this prep, I wasn't even able to do more than like 3 or 4 because my back sucked so bad, but I feel like I've brought it up quite a bit, and now I'm able to do around, I would say my max would probably be about 17 or 18 pull-ups, maybe even 20, but I stick to sets of 12, and I'll do about 4 to 5 sets, or as many sets as it takes me to do 50 pull-ups. Next is one of my favorites. It's a hammer strength pull down machine. This one's awesome just because you can really contract the lower lats and drive through the elbows. I feel this one really good, especially when I do a single arm. but I don't always do it single arm. When I'm trying to pull a little bit more weight, it balances itself out, so you're able to pull a little bit more with still very good activation and very good control. But when you're single arm, you're not able to activate everything as good because you're trying to counterbalance it. A little bit of posing for you guys. You can see that left shoulder right there is a little bit wonky. It sits a little bit higher than the other one from the front. It's just kind of rotated in the socket, so it does bother me, but I try to work around it and not cause further damage. Moving on to a bread and butter movement. This is a supinated grip barbell row. One of the kings for back development, especially if you're healthy and able to do them correctly. Me personally, I've just progressed into them. That's why the weight is so light, because like I said, I'm all injured and banged up, and for my age I feel like I shouldn't be this way, but I played sports and I didn't really know what I know now about rehab and recovery and preventative maintenance, I guess, when it comes to your body. So I guess you live and you learn, and I'm able to now pass these things on, so everything for a reason, right? This is called a 4x6. It's from Fortitude training, or also known as a muscle round, and essentially you pick a weight that you can get about 10 reps with, maybe 12 reps, and you do 6 sets of 4 with 10 seconds rest in between. And if you think about the total volume that you're able to get through that, it's much more than if you were to do the sets independently. It's much more intense because the volume is done in a shorter period of time, and these are hard. Muscle rounds are awesome. I'm a big fan of them. I throw them in every now and then, and I'm glad that I do, because it essentially saves you a lot of time. There's a lot of stimulation, and it's a shock to your system for sure. So if you've never tried out muscle rounds or anything generally related to Fortitude training, I would highly recommend that, and I'll put a link to the book in the description box right now. So Fortitude training, Dr. Scott Stevenson, he's an awesome guy, as well as Jordan Peters. He's not exactly related, but Scott Stevenson's one of his biggest mentors, and Jordan Peters is awesome. I like a lot of his philosophies and when it comes to training too. Essentially just keep everything simple, stick to progressive overload, and you're gonna grow. So nothing crazy there. Wrapping up the 4x6 right here, you can see it's starting to get really difficult at the end, and with this movement you want to lean forward a tiny bit with these soft D handles, and this is one of my favorite movements for the lower lats as well. And now we can't forget about the upper back, because like I said, I'm trying to pull these shoulder blades into position. So the rear delts, infraspinatus, supraspinatus, things like that really come into play, stabilizing and pulling here. Need their love too, but you can see I have to go super light on them because they're really weak. So really wide grip right here, outside, way outside shoulder width. And I'm using a straight bar and treating it like a bent over row. But you can see right here that the range of motion is a lot higher through the chest, and it's almost like I'm doing a T row. I'm not sure what I would call that, but my body is almost in the shape of a T when I pull up like that. So these are really good for upper back development, those small muscle groups that get neglected quite a bit and they're not able to activate through the heavy ranges of motion. They get activated here. After I finish all my back exercises, the biceps are stimulated, but they're not worked optimally. So definitely when you work back, you're working biceps as well because they work in conjunction. However, I think they need their own independent stimulus, so I do just that, independently stimulate them. Just basic curls right here, concentration curls. I do 2 arms at a time until I'm not able to, and then when you switch to 1 arm at a time, you're able to squeeze out more reps because there's now a couple seconds rest in between. So once the lactic acid really builds up with 2 arms, then you switch to single arm and you're able to squeeze out more reps and dig deeper into that intensity threshold, I suppose you could say. And I think this is really beneficial, especially for getting a good pump and stimulating the biceps maximally. Here's another angle of the curls right here. I'll typically hit a set anywhere from 12 to 20 reps. It just really depends. I'm not a big believer on going under 8 reps when it comes to small muscle groups like triceps, biceps, side delts, things like that, just smaller muscle groups, forearms, because I think they have more potential for injury and they're smaller muscles and they don't really need that crazy growth. I have seen people who are huge advocates of that, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not against it, but I just personally don't do it myself. I've tried it out before, and typically what I find is a lot of medial and lateral epicondylitis, golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, and that's pretty much it. No noticeable strength gains or anything crazy like that. Just injuries, aches, pains of the elbows, wrists, and even shoulders because people like to swing sometimes. So heavy biceps and triceps, to be debated. Finally, we move on to some seated hammer strength preacher curls. And these are very good single arm. I like to do most of my stuff unilaterally or single arm. And then at the end, if I do decide to do a bilateral movement, it will be, like I said, at the end, because I feel when you do unilateral movements, you get optimal stimulation of that one part. And if there is a weakness, then you're able to isolate it. Like for me, my right arm is a little bit weaker than my left arm, and so I need to bring that up, and I have brought it up. So it's almost identical at this point. It's not far behind, especially compared to where it was. And I attribute that to unilateral work versus bilateral work. Prioritizing unilateral work, I should say. Oh